There are towns in America so beautiful, you almost have to blink twice to believe they're real. Places where mountain peaks touch the sky, where quiet streets feel frozen in time, and where sunsets paint the water in gold. And the best part? These aren't postcards. They're real towns where people actually live, work, and wake up every morning to that kind of beauty. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most beautiful small towns to live in across the USA. These are hidden gems where every season has its own charm, neighbors still wave hello, and everyday life feels like it belongs in a storybook. Number 10. Leavenworth, Washington. If you've ever dreamed of living in a fairy tale Bavarian village without leaving the US, Leavenworth, Washington is exactly that dream come to life. Nestled in the Cascade Mountains, this little town was redesigned back in the 1960s to look like a German alpine village, and honestly, it worked. Imagine timber-framed buildings with flowers spilling out of balconies, accordion music floating through the streets, and snowy rooftops that look like they belong in a snow globe. That's Leavenworth. With only about 2,300 residents, it's small and peaceful. But don't let the size fool you. Over 1 million visitors come every year for its festivals. Oktoberfest, the Christmas Village of Lights, even a Bavarian ice fest. For locals, that means you get the best of both worlds, a cozy small-town lifestyle with a calendar full of fun and color. And if you love the outdoors, this place is paradise. Hike to the turquoise waters of Kolchak Lake, go whitewater rafting on the Wenatchee River, or ski the slopes at Stevens Pass. Summers are warm but not too hot. Winters bring pure snow-covered magic. Of course, living here isn't cheap. Homes cost around $800,000 on average. But people say it's worth it for the charm, the community, and the feeling that life here is like one long holiday in the Alps. In Leavenworth, joy is built right into the cobblestone streets. Number 9. Stowe, Vermont. Now let's head east to the charming New England town of Stowe, Vermont. If Leavenworth feels like Europe, Stowe feels like a postcard of classic America. With just over 5,000 residents, this small town sits at the base of Mount Mansfield, Vermont's tallest peak. And honestly, it's a four-season wonderland. In the fall, the hills explode with fiery colors, making it one of the best places in the country for leaf peeping. In the winter, the Stowe Mountain Resort turns the town into a ski lover's paradise. And when spring and summer roll around, locals are out hiking, biking, or floating down the West Branch River. The town itself is full of charm-covered bridges, white-steepled churches, cozy cafes, and little shops that feel frozen in time. And even though it's small, Stowe has a surprisingly big cultural scene. Think farm-to-table restaurants, art galleries, and a busy farmers market that feels like a weekly community party. Now, houses here aren't cheap. Either the median home price is about $650,000, but what you get is a safe community, postcard-perfect scenery, and that rare mix of small-town warmth with just a touch of sophistication. Stowe has this balance that's hard to find. You'll see skiers lining up for coffee right next to artists hauling their canvases. Neighbors actually know each other, and the pace of life is slower, calmer, cleaner. If you want maple syrup in your pantry, skis in your closet, and peace in your backyard, Stowe might just be your dream town. Number 8. Ouray, Colorado. Tucked deep in a narrow valley of the San Juan Mountains, Ouray is often called the Switzerland of America. And once you see it, you'll understand why. This tiny town of about 1,000 people is surrounded by towering peaks, cascading waterfalls, and dramatic canyon walls. It's small, but it packs in more charm and adventure than towns 10 times its size. The downtown feels like stepping back in time, with its Wild West-style buildings painted in bright colors, mom-and-pop shops, and cozy cafes. And right in the middle of town, natural hot springs where you can relax all year round while gazing at snow-capped mountains. If you're into adventure, you'll never run out of things to do. Ouray is home to the world-famous ice park, a paradise for ice climbers. But if that's not your thing, there are endless hiking trails, jeep tours, and waterfalls nearby places like Box Canyon Falls and Yankee Boy Basin. Summers bring wildflowers and perfect hiking weather, while winters turn the whole place into something straight out of a fantasy novel. Homes here average around $600,000, but you're not just buying a house, you're buying into a lifestyle. A quiet, safe, close-knit community where stress melts away and nature is literally outside your front door. Imagine waking up to the sound of a creek, exploring canyons before lunch, and soaking in a hot spring under the stars. That's everyday life in Ouray. Number 7. The Villages, Florida. Now, from snowy mountains to sunny Florida, Welcome to the Villages, a community built entirely around fun, connection, and living life to the fullest. With over 145,000 residents, it's not exactly a tiny town, but it feels like one big neighborhood designed for retirees who aren't ready to slow down. People call it Disney World for adults, and honestly, that's not far off. There are over 3,000 social clubs here, from woodworking and belly dancing to pickleball, tennis, and even genealogy. Add in more than 50 golf courses, multiple town squares with live music every night, and a calendar full of festivals and parades. Here's the truth: if you're bored in the Villages, you're not trying. The lifestyle is unique too. Golf carts are the main way people get around. You'll see whole convoys of them heading to the grocery store, the movie theater, or even yoga class. And because it's in central Florida, just north of Orlando, the winters are mild and the summers are sun-soaked. With median home prices around $400,000, it's surprisingly affordable for everything you get. Healthcare is excellent, crime rates are low, and the whole place is designed for ease and comfort. Wide sidewalks, shuttle services, and top-notch medical facilities mean everything is right at your fingertips. But what really makes the Villages special is the energy. Everyone is genuinely happy to be there, and newcomers are welcomed instantly. Whether you're into bridge, Zumba, or sipping cocktails at sunset, this is retirement reimagined. In the Villages, life doesn't slow down. It just gets a whole lot more fun. Number 6, Morro Bay, California. Now let's head to the California coast to the peaceful seaside town of Morro Bay. If ocean views, salty breezes, and fresh seafood sound like paradise, this is your spot. With just over 10,000 residents, Morro Bay is small, but it has a charm that feels bigger than life. The town's most famous feature is Morro Rock, a giant 576-foot volcanic plug rising straight out of the ocean. It's visible from just about everywhere in town, and it makes the perfect backdrop whether you're sipping morning coffee or walking along the waterfront. Speaking of the waterfront, the Embarcadero is the heart of the town. It's lined with seafood restaurants, art galleries, and quirky local shops. Out in the harbor, you'll see sea otters floating on their backs, seals lounging near fishing boats, and pelicans swooping through the mist. The weather here is mild year-round, with summer highs in the 60s and 70s. That means outdoor life is a daily joy. Locals kayak in the bay, hike Black Hill, or bike along coastal trails whenever they feel like it. Homes average around $750,000, not cheap. But what you're really paying for is peace, ocean air, and a friendly, tight-knit community. You won't find flashy nightclubs or big chain stores here. Just fresh-caught seafood, quiet streets, and a slower, more mindful way of life. Morro Bay is perfect for retirees, remote workers, or anyone wanting to escape the chaos of city living. Here, the soundtrack of life is crashing waves and calling gulls. It's coastal California without the stress. Number 5. Eureka Springs, Arkansas. If quirky charm and Victorian elegance had a baby, its name would be Eureka Springs. This little town, tucked away in the Ozark Mountains of northwest Arkansas, is unlike anywhere else you've ever seen. With just over 2,000 residents, Eureka Springs feels whimsical and full of character. The streets wind up and down hills, lined with gingerbread-style homes, limestone bluffs, and more than 60 natural springs, each with its own legend. Fun fact: the entire downtown is on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's easy to see why. Here, you'll find cobblestone sidewalks, boutique shops, and a vibe that's proudly weird. Crystal stores, haunted hotels, underground caverns, and even an annual zombie parade, because why not? This town knows how to celebrate its eccentric personality. Festivals happen almost every month, from folk music weekends to LGBTQ+ pride events. And for such a tiny place, the energy is incredible. Artists, writers, and free spirits flock here. And outdoor lovers are spoiled with the nearby Ozark National Forest, Beaver Lake, and trails like Lake Leatherwood. Seasons bring their own magic too. Snowy winters, blooming springs, humid summers, and autumns that blaze with color. Homes are surprisingly affordable, with a median price around $300,000, one of the best values on this list. Eureka Springs isn't just a place to live. It's a community that celebrates art, individuality, and belonging. If you've ever dreamed of living somewhere magical, creative, and unapologetically different, this funky little town might just steal your heart. Number 4, Whitefish, Montana. Now let's head north, to the mountain wonderland of Whitefish, Montana. This is where rugged outdoor adventure meets upscale small-town charm. Located just 25 miles from Glacier National Park, Whitefish is home to about 8,700 residents. The town hugs the shores of Whitefish Lake, which means summers are filled with boating, paddleboarding, and lakeside barbecues. When winter comes, the slopes of Whitefish Mountain Resort take over, drawing skiers from all over the world. But despite being popular, Whitefish has held onto its soul. Downtown is charming and walkable with brick storefronts, craft breweries, cozy cafes, and art galleries all run by locals, not big chains. There's a warmth here that makes even newcomers feel at home. Nature is the heartbeat of Whitefish. Residents hike along the Whitefish Trail, fish in clear mountain streams, and camp in alpine meadows under the stars. Wildlife, think moose, elk, and the occasional bear, is just part of daily life. And with Glacier National Park practically in your backyard, the scenery is endless. The median home price here is about $850,000. Yes, it's pricey, but many say it's worth it for the unmatched beauty and lifestyle. Community events, live music, and neighborly vibes keep the town grounded and real. Whitefish is perfect if you love crisp air, snow-capped mountains, and a life that balances solitude with community. Whether you're sipping coffee in town or stargazing from your porch, Whitefish makes everyday life feel like a postcard. Number 3. Woodstock, Vermont. Woodstock. Vermont isn't just a town, it's a painting come to life. With about 3,000 residents, it's small, but it packs in classic New England charm like nowhere else. Picture this: covered bridges, rolling meadows, red barns, and fiery fall foliage that looks like nature set the hills on fire. Downtown Woodstock is straight out of a storybook: red brick sidewalks, a village green anchored by a white steepled church, artisan shops, cozy cafes, and bookstores that still feel genuinely local. Life here is all about slowing down and enjoying the simple things. People hike Mount Tom, bike through meadows, kayak on the Ottaquechee River, and in the winter, cross-country ski or snowshoe through quiet trails. Spring brings maple syrup season, summer brings wildflowers, and autumn steals the show. Homes here average around $700,000, but what you get is more than a house. You're buying into a lifestyle of harvest festivals, farmers markets, and neighbors who actually wave when you drive by. Woodstock has a deep sense of history, too. The Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park blends conservation, education, and outdoor fun all in one. And don't be surprised if you stumble onto a barn dance or a pop-up cello concert in the park. It's not flashy, and that's exactly the charm. Woodstock is for those who love beauty, simplicity, and community. Every season here feels like a celebration, and every day feels like an escape from the rush of the modern world. Number 2. Marfa, Texas. Marfa is small in size but huge in personality. This desert town has fewer than 2,000 residents, yet it's world famous for its art scene, its mystery, and its one-of-a-kind vibe. It all started back in the 1970s when artist Donald Judd moved here and turned old military buildings into massive art installations. Since then, Marfa has become a global hub for creativity, filled with contemporary galleries, outdoor exhibits, and desert sculptures that look like they're from another planet. But it's not just the art. The desert itself feels otherworldly. The skies stretch endlessly, the sunsets glow like fire, and then there are the mysterious Marfa lights, glowing orbs on the horizon that no one has ever been able to fully explain. It's part magic, part mystery, and part desert charm. Homes here are modest but stylish, with a median price around $350,000. Think adobe walls, minimalist design, and patios perfect for stargazing. Because in Marfa, the night sky isn't just a view, it's an experience. The town's vibe is unapologetically unique. There are no chain stores, just quirky coffee shops, food trucks serving gourmet tacos, and boutique hotels that feel like art pieces themselves. Locals gather for outdoor movies, stargazing nights, and casual desert walks. Marfa isn't for everyone. It's remote, quiet, and intentional. But for artists, dreamers, and anyone craving space to think and create, it's pure magic. Here, silence speaks, stars dance, and inspiration fills the desert air. Number 1. Aspen, Colorado. And finally, at number 1, we have Aspen, Colorado, the crown jewel of the Rocky Mountains. Aspen is small, with only about 7,000 residents, but it offers one of the most luxurious and breathtaking lifestyles in the country. Picture snow-covered peaks surrounding a charming town filled with historic brick buildings, high-end shops, and cozy cafes. In the winter, Aspen is world famous for skiing and snowboarding, with 4 major ski resorts drawing visitors from all over the globe. But Aspen is more than just a ski town. In the summer, the mountains open up for hiking, biking, and fly fishing. The Roaring Fork River winds right through town, adding to the postcard views. And beyond the outdoors, Aspen has a cultural side that most mountain towns can't match. From food and film festivals to classical music concerts, there's always something happening. Even the Aspen Institute brings world leaders and thinkers here, proving that Aspen is brains as well as beauty. Of course, all this comes at a price. Median home prices are over $2.5 million, making Aspen one of the most expensive small towns in America. But for those who can afford it, it's not just about buying a home, it's about investing in a lifestyle. A blend of nature, wellness, community, and culture that's hard to beat. What really makes Aspen special, though, is its balance. Yes, it's glamorous, but it's also friendly and surprisingly tight-knit. Neighbors gather for community events, locals share coffee shops with world travelers, and despite the luxury, the town still feels personal. Whether you're snowshoeing in January, sipping wine on a summer patio, or simply looking out at the mountains from your porch, Aspen has a way of making everyday life feel extraordinary. That's why Aspen isn't just number one on this list. It's number one in the hearts of the people lucky enough to call it home. And there you have it, the 10 most beautiful small towns to live in across the United States. From snowy peaks to desert skies, from seaside escapes to New England charm, each one offers something unique. So, which one would you choose?